Please introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record. You're on mute.
Good.
Okay, go ahead.
John McGinnis, 349430.
Hey, John, my name is Brendan Kelsey. Along with me is Michelle Renata. Mr. Tony Marabella will be your staff, your panel. We're here for parole panel. We'll ask you questions. You can respond at the end. You can make a statement and take a vote. You understand the process?
Yes, sir.
We have Alton McGinnis, Angel McGinnis, Alola Williams, Gary Caulfield, Brother Al Mims Jr. They'll speak. A few of those will speak at the appropriate time. John McGinnis, DOC number 349430. You are a second-class offender. Parole eligibility date 8/21/2021. Good time 1/29/2042. Full term 6/18/2042. A 45-year sentence for armed robbery. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Would you please answer Ms. Renata's question?
Good morning, Mr. McGinnis.
Yes, ma'am. Come
How
on.
How are you today?
I'm doing fine, ma'am.
I wanted just to say a few things before we start the interview process. I wanted to make it clear that we did receive some letters in our packet having to do with the non-unanimous jury issue. And so that's not something we're going to discuss at all today because that's not within our purview. And then I think that you, in one of your statements during the investigation process, you maybe during a clemency investigation, your statement indicates you profess your innocence and that's your right to do so, but our job is not to determine guilt or innocence today. All right, that we rely on the courts for that. So we're here today to just talk about what you've done since you've been in jail.
Yes,
And are
ma'am.
you public safety? So how old are you, sir?
46, ma'am.
How long you been in jail?
For 26 is going to be my 27th year.
22nd year?
So,
22nd.
22nd. So almost half your life you've been in and out of jail.
yeah, 27. That's
You
what I
said
thought.
27?
Yes.
27. So over half.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So what you been doing since, when I look at your, let me see, I have your programs, what the DOC provided was that you'd only done the 100 hours program, but I looked at, there was a certificate of achievement. You got your GED in 2006. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You've done, let's see, graphic communications through the technical college, anger management, of course, the character counts. You've done Drug Dealers Anonymous. You served as a tutor. You worked in the chaplains department. And then I guess some of this was at DCI where you were in JC's program and various other faith-based programs. Of all the programs that you've been able to take advantage of, which one was the most meaningful for you?
I want to say it was probably my St. Kobe retreat or my Kairos program.
And why? Tell us why.
Because just being able to learn how to forgive myself and to move forward, learning how to love people and, just do the right thing. Because I was kind of hard on myself about ending up in this situation and the people that got hurt, the victim, my family members, everybody that was directly or indirectly, affected by my decisions, I was trying to just figure out a way to correct it, to make it right, to resolve the matter. And the rest of my programs, it was just trying to be a better person, become, better than what I was. I was young at the time. I made bad decisions. I made mistakes. I thought I was ready at the time. I thought I knew everything, but I realized I didn't. And the experience of just the programming and educate myself and getting to meet people and learn things, that was what helped.
So you do have a low risk assessment score. You have, I noticed you have 35 write-ups. 3 of those, though, what concerned me was, and usually early in someone's institutional confinement, we will see a lot of write-ups and then it tapers off. The 3 of yours were in 2021. Can you tell us what was going on with you there? One's contraband, defiance, aggravated disobedience, that was on one day. And then a third in December of 21, and another one the following day. There was more 30 something. What was going on?
Okay, and the incident in 21, I think it was around COVID time. The officer performed a shakedown. Most of the time they pat us down and asked us to go to the front because it was a female. She actually had a mask covering her face, and after she pat me down, I proceeded to the front of the dormitory. I didn't actually hear what the officer said, and ultimately I mishandled, by me not hearing what she said, I acted inappropriately and I got rolled up. As far as the contraband, it was overturned because I didn't have any contraband, so ultimately I was convicted for not filing direct verbal order, and I was found guilty. And my last write-up, which was communicating on my JPEG tablet, I had a friend asking me some questions concerning a legal matter, and I was rolled up for performing legal work. And I was guilty of that, communicating, because I have a legal degree, so I was just trying to help her by giving her some information.
How, what's your job? Do you have a job?
Basically, I go to different classes like IC3 and call out living in balance. I help out on the dormitory. I'm assigned to the field crew, but they don't actually have a field crew here. So I clean up on the dome. I go to whatever call out is available.
So you go to whatever open call out they may have that day if you don't have anything else to do.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell us about, do you have a history of substance abuse?
No, ma'am.
Before you came to jail? No.
No, I really, the only thing I took was medication because I had been shot. And that's as far as it go. I don't drink, I don't use drugs.
Well, didn't you just mention you go to Living in Balance sometimes?
I go to the call outs, even if I don't need it, I still try to get whatever I can get from them. Because in the world today, a lot of people on drugs and people try stuff, but everything's educational. So I try to obtain everything I could get to be a better person. Some people don't take the call outs because they feel they don't need it. I take everything that's available.
Tell us about, if you were successful today, what would be your transition plan?
My plan is to go and work with my mother, and I have a few other friends got businesses. Initially, that's what I'm going to do, and I want to start my own organization. I would like to have a youth program and basically teach them the things that I have learned, because at their age, they need the right information. Because when I was younger, I didn't know. And there's a lot of things that I didn't know that caused me to make the wrong choices. So I feel that if I would have known, I would avoid coming to prison. I see the news, I see what's going on, and I believe that if I was out, I could help somebody else and I could change a life. So my plan is to, start my own organization outside of work.
Is Elegant Designs, is that with your mother?
Yes, that's with my mother. I'm going to initially work with her.
And what is Elegant Designs?
She basically do event planning, catering, whatever event comes up, she basically makes a layout plan, design whatever it is that they ask, and do the setup. And basically I'll be working with her.
We have several letters of support. We do have in the record an indication, well, the district attorney's office is opposed, citing a reason you have very limited programming. Warden, is there anything you can share with us about Mr. McGinnis?
John's in our honor program. He serves as a dorm rep. He was elected by his dormitory to be a representative for the OWC. The last write-ups that he was talking about, he was doing inmate council work. He was not an inmate council. That's where he got the charges for helping people with their legal concerns, even though he had a certificate for it, but he wasn't assigned. So he had, like I said, he's in our honor program and he was elected as a dorm rep for the OWC.
Okay, thank you. I have no other questions.
All right. We'll hear from Miss Lola Williams. Miss Williams? Is she here? No? Do I not have
Her name is Lola McGinnis.
McGinnis? Okay, I get all these names right. We need to try to get this right. I've had all kind of old names wrong.
I'm gonna step up.
Lola McGinnis? Okay, sorry about that, Miss McGinnis.
That's better than F. You know, that's right.
Miss McGinnis.
Names.
Says her
Hey.
name.
You talking about me, Elton McGinnis?
No?
Elton, I want to let the other guys talk, okay?
Wait, what's your name, ma'am?
No one McGinnis?
That's the Lola McGinnis. That's
Yeah.
what, yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, it is a lot. I'm just overwhelmed. I want to say that I knew what I wanted to say.
We need you to speak loudly too, so he can hear you
Yes,
as well. if
speak
you can.
loudly. To make a brief statement. Go ahead.
I speak for my family. Unfortunately, my husband is too ill to participate. I know my son to be a good person, and he was a helper. I'm not taking away from the seriousness of the crime, but my son has served 26 years. And I feel like he's ready to come home. He's made efforts to improve himself. He's taken all legal requirements. He's did the GED program as he's earlier, and he did two other inmates so they can obtain the GED program. He has a degree in, he's not a certificate in paraprofessional. He has a structured and secure home to come to. Has multiple people that will give him support, including friends and family. He has options of secure employment for myself and others who I know, so that they would hire him as an employee. And I just pray that y'all would show mercy and let myself come home.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hear from Brother Al Mims.
Good afternoon. I'm here on behalf of my former board members, board, Jim Wise, and I'm here because we need help. This young man has served time, and he has done it with dedication and commitment. If anybody ever I've seen hundreds that when I was on the board. If anybody's ready to be released, yeah. They got so much going on in New Orleans. This kind of different. He's not scared. You know, he's not perfect, but he's not scared to talk to these youngsters that could make a difference. And that's what I'm looking for. And I came here because the credibility that I have, I'm a law sheriff and parole board member. I wanted to let them know that I believe in him, I trust him, I'm gonna ask him to help me with something. And the kids understand what he's doing. When he talk, they're gonna listen. He's talking to me. And I'm talking about, proactive, yeah. I don't bear too many kids. I go to funeral every other week. I just want you to know that I'm here. Yeah, I took time. I'm a busy schedule. I took time out of my schedule to come here because I would beg for this young man. He needs so much space, but he's part of the solution, a big part. And that's why I want you to remember that when you do the big part.
All right, thank you. Thank you for being here. All right, Gary?
Good evening. My name is Gary Caulfield, Caulfield Construction. We're a third generation construction company. We specialize in all aspects of construction. Actually, I started construction when I was 12 years old. So John is a friend of mine. I've been knowing John 10 years at the most. And John have a great influence. I have concrete finishers, I have bricklayers, I have sheetrock people, but John was actually away from his mother. Her business could be a little bit, slower than mine. So hitting the pavement, I would use John in administration. John is a type of person, no nonsense. I would hire John immediately when he get out. But John, 26 years ago, I'm not sure that I would hire that guy. But this guy, I would hire him immediately. And in my closing, oftentimes I would wait on John to call. Because I'm having issues with people inside the business. I don't even have personal issues. This guy give me counsel, and I'd be like, how did you know that? And he kind of get, man, I read. That's all I do is read. I don't mess around with foolishness in here. So I'm really impressed with this guy that the wisdom and knowledge he have, it did not come from books. I'm believing that it comes from God and his calling, his true calling, what God has actually called him to do. I really believe that he's in that season and he can be productive beyond, what we can imagine. I think he's making a mistake if he gave it a chance.
Right,
Thank y'all for letting me speak.
Thank you so much. Okay, we'll hear from Randy Myers. Randy Myers on the phone.
Yes, sir. Randy Myers, Assistant DA, Jefferson Parish. We're opposed to Mr. McGinnis's request. He was denied clemency in 2018. I think he clearly understood the importance of remaining discipline-free with no disciplinary reports. And in 2021, he gets 3 disciplinary reports. One was for contraband. That concerns me. I think that shows he's not ready to be released at this point. And also, I think since that time in 2018, he's basically had 3, true programs for rehabilitative purposes. One was pre-release 21 and did 12 steps in 2020. So we think he needs more programming, and we think he needs to go a longer distance, a longer period of time without having disciplinary reports. Those reasons we're opposed.
All right, thank you. All right, John, would you like to make a statement on your behalf? Go ahead.
Basically, I want to say, that I would want to apologize to the victim and the victim family for my actions. I understand that, the seriousness of my charge, and even though I know I didn't have a gun, I know I didn't take anything, I'm still as guilty as the person that had the weapon. I'm sorry for my contributions to the crime. I apologize. I wish I could have gave back whatever was taken from him. I made a bad choice. It related to, my conduct with the write-up. The contraband charge, it was overturned because I didn't have any contraband. I appealed it and I proved that I didn't have any contraband. You know, I had disciplinary issues, and when I was guilty, I regrouped and I tried to correct it. You know, once understanding what I was doing wrong, I made mistakes, but I never intentionally intend on doing anything wrong. And I'm not a violent person. I didn't intend on robbing the victim. I didn't intend on hurting anyone. You know, I'm guilty of socializing with the wrong people. And basically, you know, just a bad choice.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you for your comments. Now fair to vote,
Yes.
Ms. Renata?
Mr. McGinnis, I am disappointed in the write-ups. The warden did shed some light on the write-ups in 2021. I'm willing to give you a chance today. My vote today would be to grant, based on your low risk, the remarks by the warden, your low risk score, and really the length of incarceration. You've done some good community service work within the prison. So my vote would be to grant, with special conditions that you do perform 4 hours of community service work, at least 4 hours minimum with at-risk youth. You have a curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Report to your parole officer on a weekly basis for the first 4 weeks so y'all can get to know each other.
Mr. Marabella?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My vote is the same reasons.
I have 2 votes to grant. Also, I'm going to vote to grant your parole for the same reasons as stated. You'll have community service 4 hours per month. Curfew 9 p to 6 a, and you report to your PO weekly for the first 4 weeks. Thank you. Parole's been granted. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank